Alright, we have another Warhammer Fantasy Battle Report. Here I'm using a 2250 list that my son put together for High Elves. It's a major combat heavy, very little magic and relatively little range. So going against some Dwarfs. So on my far right he's got 10 Quarterers on the hill, a Bolt Thrower, a unit of Longbeards with his general, and he uses a Thane as a general instead of a Lord. Another Bolt Thrower, a big block of Warriors with a kind of a combat-oriented Runesmith. He might have a great weapon. I know he's got a 2-up armor save. Anyway, 10 Quarterers on the hill, got a Scroll Caddy Runesmith behind the hill, Organ Gun, unit of Ironbreakers with a Thane BSB, a big block of Warriors, and then a cannon. So when we started deploying, the advantage that High Elves have a lot of time is I can place 2 Eagles, and I could put my Phoenix Guard in the middle. I could pretty much just dance around, and he doesn't know where I'm at. And so at the end, I plopped all my units on the right-hand side, because that hill and that impassable terrain blocked his line of sight for a lot of things. His cannon is way over at the other side. Most things I care about are well out of the organ gun's range. I could almost just see it in his eyes when I started putting these things down. He's like, oh, great. But I've got the mobility on him with cavalry and a 10-inch march versus his 6-inch march, so thought I'd take advantage of it. So, got 5 Dragon Princes, full command with a High Elf Lord with the Star Lance on a horse. Got 14 White Lions, Tyrannic Chariot, White Lion Chariot behind him, 10 Archers, got a couple Scroll Caddy Wizards in with them. So got a couple Eagles, big block of Phoenix Guard. The Sword Masters are just hiding out of sight behind the hill. Decided they're too fragile with all that shooting on the board, so I'm going to hang back with them and then bring them up later in the game when they can help, maybe in turn 5 or turn 6, something like that. Anyway, got a Bolt Thrower, 10 Archers, and another Bolt Thrower. So I'm used to playing Bretonnians and have to give my opponent the first turn all the time. This game I actually got to roll for it and won. So we zoom up on the right hand side. You can see really I push everybody up almost as far as I can. Take the Eagles up. They're threatening. I position them such that I could decide next turn where I want to shoot them, where I want to charge with them, and I can take my Archers and my Bolt Throwers and see if I can pick off his War Machine crews, and then maybe charge a weakened crew or somebody else that needs it. That was my thinking. So Dwarf turn 1. You can see he's turning his guys, trying to get over here to my side of the board. Takes the Organ Gun and makes a big puffball of feathers out of that Eagle. I think he did like 8 wounds on him. Takes 2 Bolt Throwers, and between the 2 of them, kill that Eagle. So my plan of having my Eagles charge his War Machines is out the window. The good news is he wasn't shooting at targets that were a little bit more valuable to me, so that's a good thing. His Quarterers on the hill pick off a couple of my Archers, and we move to turn 2. So you can kind of see what I'm doing there. I'm just kind of wheeling around his flank. I predict at this point that my Dragon Princes are going to just do a lot of damage, but they're going to get slowed down just simply by his units being there. And so I think by the time they're hitting the bigger blocks of guys, my infantry will have a chance to catch up. And I'm purposely doing it so that I can try to get combined attacks a front and a flank. So there's that, and it looks like his blocks are going to be fairly close to my Phoenix Guard, but I think I'll be able to get the charge in that block of Longbeards and get out of the way of his blocks that are coming over. Another look at the board, and got 2 level 1 Scroll Caddies, and I rolled a miscast with one of them trying to cast, I think it was the Fury of Cain, and took a wound. So that wizard's down to half points. That was worthless. Between turn 1 and turn 2, I shot at his Organ Gun, and now he's down to 1. So he shot at my Eagle last turn. He'll be able to get a shot this turn, and then he's going to have to only shoot every other turn. So that's pretty good. That Organ Gun can really do some damage to High Elves. Dwarf turn 2. There's really not a whole lot he's doing. He's rushing his troops over as fast as he can. He's shooting at me. My opponent's having rotten luck this game, killing very few things. And he's got his army split in half to where really I should be able to deal with half of it and then deal with the other half. So he turns the organ gun, picks off a couple of my... they're actually white lions posing as Phoenix Guard. So High Elf turn 3. Alright, so I charge the Phoenix Guard into the flank of the Longbeards. The Dragon Prince unit is in their front. It looks like they're back a couple inches. That's just because the hill was going to make them topple forward. But I've got a combined charge in that unit. I should wipe them out fairly easily. And I got my other troops coming up to provide support. When I win that battle, my Phoenix Guard should charge out of the get out of the way of that that warrior unit coming up. So anyway, it should not be quite so congested, and I have these guys all in the front, and I have my sword masters coming up pretty soon, and my chariots hanging back to get some charges. So my plan with these guys for the white lions to hold people up and then to get some counter charges again. So I thought that was a better picture, look close up. And what I did is I charged his quarrelers. He chose to flee, fled through his Longbeards, and then I got the charge into them. So, and I think what he was thinking was, had I got the charge into his quarrelers with my Dragon Princes, I would have wiped him out and then got the overrun anyway, so you might as well just flee with them. And nothing else going on, that's just what the board looks like. My bowmen shoot at his quarrelers, and I don't know who else shot at him, but anyway, killed a bunch, and they actually failed a panic test, amazingly enough, so they fled. So that's another turn, maybe 2 turns. I don't have to worry much about their shooting. It's kind of nice. Wipe out the Longbeard unit, overrun. The people, the guys in the organ gun had to take a panic test, and they actually failed it on Leadership 9. So my Phoenix Guard got caught up at the bolt thrower, and on his next turn, during his combat phase, I'll destroy it and then be out of combat. But for now, I'm in combat with that war machine. And you can see my Dragon Princes. I really just, the way they were kind of on that hill, and I didn't want to be a big target for his cannon. Of course, you see my white lions are a target anyway.